Hello, here is the practice for my speech. I will be pointing into the air, which will be the projector in real life. So every time I point, that's just me signaling to the person. I'm trying to practice the pointing to signal to the person to change the slides. So that's what my pointing is all about, into the nothingness. Alrighty, well, without further ado, here is my speech. Picture this. You are 17 years old on the brink of going to one of the best cross-country training camps in the country. Now imagine finding out you have acute appendicitis, meaning you will no longer be able to go to that cross-country training camp that meant so much to you. Well, that was me in 2022. If it wasn't for the hospitableness demonstrated by my assigned nurses, my stay at the hospital would have been a living emotional nightmare. Hospitals should be putting more emphasis on the implementation of hospitable care for patients. Now you may be thinking, this guy isn't even a STEM major. And to that I answer, you're right. However, during my senior year of high school, I shadowed hospital staff for an entire year, taking mental notes on how nurses treat their patients. I noticed many nurses blow off their patients, creating a tense atmosphere that hinders the healing experience. Hospitableness is the yellow brick road to compassion. To convince you of the importance of hospitable patient care, I will firstly define hospitableness and how important emotional connection is to patient care. Secondly, I will mention the importance of compassion and how small gestures enhance patient satisfaction. And finally, I will be talking about the importance of patient feedback and how a hospitality mindset leads to better patient outcomes. To understand the importance of hospitableness in hospital settings, we need to know what hospitableness really is. Hospitableness is the key to establishing an emotional connection between hospital staff and patients. Hospitableness is described by Levent Altany, Professor of Strategy and Entrepreneurship at Oxford Brookes Business School, in his 2023 journal investigating the effect of hospitableness on the well-being of hospital patients. Hospitableness is an attitude that makes guests feel welcome and secure. If hospital staff were to create a warm, welcoming environment that took into consideration the psychological needs of their patients, recovery time would be reduced. As described by Valerie Wright St. Clair, occupational science and therapy professor at Auckland University of Technology, in her 2018 research about patients experiencing heartfelt hospitality firsthand, hospitality leads to genuine care and connection that allows for patients to feel more at ease and like they are fully human. Life is unpredictable. And when medical emergencies happen, they come out of the blue. The last thing you would want being in a medical situation is to feel subhuman. So essentially, hospitableness creates vital connections between patients and hospital staff. For my second point, I will talk about how small gestures help show compassion that elevates patient experience. It is essential for hospital staff to learn small gestures to enhance genuine compassion. Tone of voice is so important in regard to how hospital staff talks to their patients, as it helps convey compassion. Not to mention making eye contact, and even something as small as a smile can help create a temporary shared moment of acknowledgement between the patient and hospital worker. When it comes to patient care in hospitals, there are common denominators. As described by Greg Burke, Chief Patient Experience Officer for Geisinger Health Systems, in his 2023 interview about focusing on hospitality in hospitals, everyone deserves the very best care, everyone deserves to be seen and heard, and everyone deserves to be treated with dignity. Patients are generally afraid when entering hospitals. This is why small hospitable gestures are so vital in creating a connection between hospital staff and patients that establishes trust. Has anyone in this classroom worried about being embarrassed by hospital staff? This is why it is so imperative that hospital staff create an atmosphere that is comfortable. Clearly, it is essential to use thoughtful small gestures to maintain authentic compassion. The next point I will be discussing is the importance of patient feedback and how having a hospitality mindset helps drive better patient outcomes. If hospitals are going to improve hospitableness, they need to recognize the importance of patient feedback, as this leads to the development of a hospitality mindset that helps drive better patient outcomes. It is essential that hospital staff does not assume the experience their patients had. Instead, they should be asking their patients what is and isn't working. This helps foster hospitable innovation, as listening and learning create clear and reliable communication. As stated by Dr. Nimish Patel, Principal and CEO of HBS Investment Group, in his 2024 article talking about the parallels of hospitality and medicine, improved communication ensures meticulous attention to detail in patient care, delivering treatment plans that resonate with individual needs. This allows for the enhancement of patient satisfaction, which leads to the improvement of patient outcomes. Imagine being in a hospital where they do not care about patient feedback. Patient care itself, especially hospitable care, would never progress. Now that I've gone through the benefits of hospitableness in a hospital setting, let's review what I've discussed. So what I really hope you all gained from this speech is that hospitableness is in fact the yellow brick road to compassion. Hospitableness is key in a hospital setting, and when used by hospital staff, it allows for an emotional connection that fosters an environment for critical patient healing. Not to mention, small gestures such as a smile allows for the development of authentic compassion. And finally, patient feedback is vital for meaningful innovation, especially regarding hospitable care, driving better patient outcomes. So if you ever seriously end up in a situation where you are 17 years old in the hospital for acute appendicitis, devastated about a cross-country training camp like I was, just know hospitable care is what emotionally got me through such heavy disappointment when I thought my senior cross-country season was over. Hospitableness is what gave me the courage to heal.